This is episode 144 of Noodle Time. Welcome back. Here with me is the Mileage Tracker OSG. How's it going, sir?
What's up, bro? I'm about to hit 55,000 on 4 years with this damn car. 4 years driving back and friggin' forth from here to Houston. So, ready. Not ready for
and
this
the club,
episode, but yeah, getting that mileage in.
yeah, and the club definitely needs to pay you your gas money at this point. When we talk about this game, but man,
At some point, please.
just a lot to talk about. Honestly, we do have the week off with the Dynamo this upcoming weekend. Although we do have a midweek game to preview later on in the show. Of course, we're going to talk about the Montreal game, a few things that happened over the course of the week, and last but not least, we do have a special feature coming up for you guys. But as you can see right here, I do have the U.S. versus Saudi Arabia game in the background. We'll be starting in a few minutes over here, and man, Gold Cup, Club World Cup. We are setting up for the World Cup next year. Jack McLean about to play in the background over here. Soccer everywhere, man.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it. It's hasn't been fun following any of our Houston teams right now. Dynamo, Dash, even Dose, man. Even Dose it hasn't been fun, watching as of late. So it's fun to watch some of these Club World Cup games going on. Miami beat Porto today. Messi with a damn free kick, but all kinds of shit going on, and Gold Cup going on as well. Obviously at Shell, you've got one at Q2 tonight. USA at Q2, obviously. Like you said, summer of soccer for the next 2 years.
Summer of soccer for the next 2 years. You said it so right, and it's just insane the sheer amount of not just like soccer events, but also sporting events. We're also hosting the World Baseball Classic next year at the start of the year, like a few months before the World Cup starts. And just the sheer amount of sports. If you hate sports, it's going to be a bad couple of years for you because I'm all here for it. I cannot wait to go to as many events as I can. Like for me, it's all about, man, the enjoyment of everything, getting connected with everyone that loves sports, and all just a mix of cultures. Even though he is not hosting the Club World Cup right now, they are hosting the Gold Cup, which is still we're getting a big rivalry coming up. Yeah, and the final Energy Stadium. So it's just a matter of, man, the level of soccer that we're about to get and just the anticipation for it. I cannot wait.
It's fun, man. I mean, with Trinidad and Tobago versus Haiti at Shell Energy right now, you have Houston versus Saudi Arabia starting here in less than 10 minutes. So we'll be focused on that with Jack McGlynn, of course, and then USA. But like you said, a lot going on, man. So it's a fun time. So even when your team's not playing and on a break, you got something else going on. You want your primary team playing, but we'll take USA. Even though they're kind of disappointing to watch right now. They did come off a 5-0 win, but let's see what they do. Let's see what they do tonight.
Of course. And just before we get started the episode, we are waiting for a special feature about to start. And without further ado, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about that game against Montreal, man, because it's been a few days, and I'm gonna be honest with you right now. For me, it's been very difficult to stay calm about that situation because we've already seen in a few instances this year, especially at home, that the team has just been playing poorly, and some of the players were not really showing up. Well, the game against Montreal, I was furious. I was extremely furious. I didn't want to think about Houston for an entire week, and I kind of have to be here at this moment right now just to vent my frustrations, man. Because I feel like we shouldn't be reviewing this game because we've been repeating ourselves for so long, but we're still gonna do it. And the fact of the matter is that this team, these players, I don't want to blame all of them, but it's just the fact of all these players, all the technical staff, and as a collective unit. In these type of situations, it feels like they're always missing something, and whenever they're losing, which is part of the sport, which is part of life, really, like I I cannot. For me, I keep thinking of these moments.
So yeah, real quick.
Yeah,
So I'm watching the walkout at Q2, right? And I wanted to
yeah,
go so bad, but ticket prices were $90 still, $90 still. And I'm
yeah,
looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and boom, all I see is green, 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 green seats. I could have been there.
yeah.
You friggin' idiots! What the? Like, look at that. That is so stupid. I wanted to go to this game, but look at that. That's so, oh my God, ridiculous. Austin's a soccer city, my friggin' diarrhea ass. God. Move
I mean,
on,
just
move
to
on.
honestly, just to like add a little bit to that, because I was actually looking at the ticket prices too. I mean, I wouldn't really blame Austin fans either. Like, we're talking about $90 for a group stage game in the Gold Cup. Honestly, that's a big hard sell, especially for soccer fans. And
Has a lot to do
I do
with
know,
Q2 though. Not just US soccer as well. So, I
right?
bet we should probably look at ticket prices across the board and see what they are at other stadiums right now. But look at that. I'm watching in English on FS1. You're watching in Spanish, so you're not seeing. But they just showed a full screen of the entire. You're seeing it right there with Diego Luna in the background. There's nobody there, and I could be there. We could be doing this recording with those ugly green seats in the background because there'd be nobody behind me. But I could be sitting there talking about the show, and there wouldn't be no background noise because there's nobody there. Stupid.
Yeah, like
Back in
it's
Montreal.
the
Back in Montreal.
is it
Our special guest must have forgot what the friggin' cues were because I don't know where that person is, but hopefully getting good interviews down there. So
of course. No, but I mean, just to go back to the Montreal game, man. Like,
yeah,
my point is that we've seen so many times this year that the team is just falling short in certain places, and the game against Montreal, especially, just being in good momentum, like a lot of games this year, they always like don't capitalize when it matters most, and this game is just a prime example of that. They were just simply unable to put the ball in the back of the net. That
I mean, look at that.
And they let Montreal walk in the game. They let Montreal walk back in the game. They concede 2 goals in the span of less than 2 minutes. They go to halftime. They let them score a third, and we barely get a header in. And 3-1, the team is just looking so dead in the second half. No, barely any urgency or consistency like we saw in the first half. And we just let the worst team in the Eastern Conference get a win in Houston. Coming off
Be
a loss against Kansas City at home, we lost 6 points after a bye week. I'm like, we're trying to get back into a playoff spot, and we are still doing this. It's infuriating. We understand, like, the team can always improve over time and build up momentum, but it's just ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't really go just to Ben Olsen because he has to deal with players that are missing, but still, I feel like he's not utilizing the players that he has to utilize. We've been talking about Lawrence and Ali starting, which obviously is just a matter of conditioning. And I've said it in the previous episode. I don't trust. Uh, I don't. I don't trust Paulo Ortiz with Femi Awodesu as a pairing altogether. For all these reasons, we always get caught off flat-footed defensively. We let Montreal just play us on the counter again, like every single team that's able to beat us whenever we have momentum going on. And man, there's so many things going on in my head right now because I watched a Dynamo game I watched them dominate early in the game, and I already know the opponent has a shot at beating us for all these reasons. This whole year, it's been like that so far, and we're already at the halfway point. Like, what are we gonna do now? Just obviously wait for a transfer window, but that's probably a conversation for later on. But like, we lost 6 really important points against beatable teams, and we're about to get a pretty tough like start of the schedule. Our next game is against Minnesota, which is one of the best teams in the conference, and we're then St. Louis, and then all the tougher teams down the road. So it's like we're not taking advantage of the moment. We obviously can beat the other teams if we're up for that, but losing against some of the worst teams in the league, it's like no,
Hey,
no, man, I'm furious.
like our gracious host every week, Mark Segovia said, Montreal, can we play Houston every week? I'm sure they're thinking the same thing. And I'm thinking Montreal. Can you play your B team every week? They were pretty damn good. Your A team, who are they? You know, it sucks. Eight players missing, and Montreal just killed us, bro. And Ben refuses to change his friggin' tactics, man. Just refuses, man. Mark, shout out to you, man. I know you're busy working, but you're listening and you're chatting it up. So I see all the comments over there, bro. I see you scored today as well. No wonder you're not in the chat helping Inter Miami win their game today. But bro, against Montreal, that was just embarrassing. And at the stadium, I'm there, right, and just draining. And poor Femi, just getting beat up. And bro, what are you doing? Sometimes quit watching YouTube and play some soccer. Damn it! You started out hot. Now you've fallen behind the YouTube videos. Oh man, we still like you, but man, you gotta, man, you're in between D2 and MLS right now, is what I'm at. But you can't be doing that. So a lot needs to be addressed. And Ben said in the press conference, there's got competition for starters. Well, Sherlock, that should have been 18 games ago, bro. Figure it out. Play the rotation. Play the players. You've got fans questioning Siegel over Toyosi or whatever. How do you ever say his name? Like, what do we bring this dude in for if Gabe Siegel's going to start over him? So what was the point of that? And we see what potential he has. So and yeah, Gabe's got a lot of energy and a lot of heart, and he fights for the ball. Well, I don't know. Well, maybe it's Ponce that needs to be on the bench then. I don't know what's going on here. Ponce don't fit this system either. Ben got to change. Yeah, no excuses, Mark says. No excuses. There's 1,000 excuses. We just gotta talk about them. But no excuses. We should be better 2 years in a row. Great team. Make the playoffs. Make the conference finals. Get jerked out than last year. And dude, come on, man. Granted, injuries, Coco leaves, Mikel leaves on the last second. They knew that was coming, though. It was going to, come on, man. There were hints to it. You got to prepare. It's ridiculous. You give up on Sebas. Sebas could have been something that could have been trying. I don't know, bro. Like, there's a lot of mistakes. It's on Pat. It's on Ben as well. Yeah, and it's on Asher as well. But I think the most of it, the majority of it belongs to Ben. We'll get into that later, I guess.
It's collective. The blame is collective, and it's a lot of accountability to share. Just how we're just looking like at the halfway point of the season, because like I've already said I wasn't a big fan of the Mikel trade, which we can talk about whenever we talk about Pat. And then all these circumstances, obviously we got Jack McLean, which has been a pretty solid signing, but it feels like he's the best player on the team right now because he's our talisman. He's the one that's almost scoring all the goals for the team and just providing that Achiachi type of player that's just gonna run you circles and create your plays. And he's now with the national team. He won't be back until the end of June, assuming that the US get grouped, which is looking like they won't. But we'll see against what happens in Saudi Arabia. And
tonight they win. Tonight they advance.
yeah, which is worse for Houston because we're about to play Minnesota and St. Louis. So yeah, like it's, I don't know what else to say. Like we're just gonna keep saying like adjustments are needed. Of course, that still remains to be seen. Like you just said, it feels like we want the best players to be playing for this team. We keep seeing the starters. There's barely a lot of rotation outside of the short rotations with midweek games after weekend games, like the grind we did last month. And man, this team looked pretty good coming out of that month, considering that we've had like a lot of games in between. And June comes in, we had a bye week after the loss to Kansas City, and this is what happened. So it's extremely concerning. It has a lot to do with how we're gonna approach the rest of the season. Of course, we do have like a transfer window coming up, so we'll see what type of reinforcements they get. They've been hyping up the fact that we're getting a lot of resources to sign players, which, look, man, it's great, but at this point, we need some sort of game changer or some sort of player that's just like able to revolutionize this team in some way that they're able to succeed. Because what this team needs right now is just positive mentality. They just need that type of fortitude to go out there and get more points because they've already fallen behind at home. Fans are very skeptical about home games now. We're playing better on the road for some reason still, but at home, we're not capitalizing on that either. We get such a better crowd at home, and the team plays like that. And it's like every single time we get a good crowd, the fans want to be invested in this team. They just shit the bed. What the fuck?
Bro, it's ridiculous watching this team at home this year. You know, even the Dash 2, it's not a home field advantage at all. Like, they have no pride, but, you know, there's no leader as well, like you said. And even Mark's over here in the chat, you know, popping all these questions. And a lot of this we have in the script ready to go later on tonight where we're going to debate about some things that you're asking, Mark. So stay tuned as you're working. I hope we'll keep you entertained. Don't shock yourself. But yeah, just a joke of a game and a performance. And, you know, Ben is excuses. And then 3 times in the press conference saying, I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase it? Bro, shut up. I don't like going to the press conferences, but, you know, I don't tell Dynamo that, you know, yet. Like, I just try. I was there at the press conference. I just didn't ask a question. Really didn't want to either. Not to get beat up. Not to look stupid.
Since we're in the topic of trying to see what this team can do down the road, we can probably start the preview against Minnesota United because that's going to be our next game next week, next Wednesday. And it's more so about who is going to be available for this team. And the bigger question, which has been a player that has barely played this year, it's Zinchenko, because that's one of the players I've been looking forward to this year, coming out of a pretty big season last year. Obviously, just signing an extension and still missing like a third of the season so far because of a leg injury. Apparently, it's been so bad that he hasn't seen game time since like February. So
it feels like the Ache drunk hamstring injury, but he's not drunk.
Yeah, and in this situation, for me, it just feels sad because Zinchenko's just one of the leaders in this team, and I know more than anyone that he.
Who else is a leader? The only
Artur
leader.
apparently.
Who else? Yeah. Like nobody leads this team. There's no fight. There's no grit. Dorsey like pumps the fans up, but is he a team leader?
No, I mean, like Sviatchenko is definitely more of a leader compared to Artur, the
Yeah,
team captain, of
absolutely.
course. But I feel like Artur is there for sure. I feel like he's way more quiet than Sviatchenko is. Like Sviatchenko is definitely more able to express his desire for this team to improve, and I've seen that over and over again for the past couple years he's been here. And he's just a type of leader. It's just unfortunate that he's not available because obviously he has to play with the team to still build that chemistry, especially with the new players that came in this year. And that's also like a question
Is he
that
cooked?
that I fear so because like it's already been a while. Like
He
how
reported on
how long?
Instagram he was going to be back soon, and then he was on the bench for the last game, but didn't play, or not even on the bench. He was available, didn't even make the bench. So that was kind of like, oh, okay. We thought we were going to get 20 minutes out of him. So we'll have to see against Minnesota and St. Louis how much time, because supposedly we're healthy now, minus Quinones, and Ben said we're healthy. By the way, Quinones is not
Yes.
healthy. So people were telling, just hurry up and tell us it's a season-ending injury or a career-ending injury and just be done with it. Pay him till the end of the season. He can play FIFA all he wants and tell people about it. Well, he's playing FIFA. So just tell us, because if we're healthy, then Quinones should be out there. So just tell us, what's going on.
And I 100% get the frustration because with him missing Quinones for so long, and we've only seen him in pictures at practices, but we still don't know the extent of his injury and how far he is from match fitness, even assuming that is somewhat recovered. And for me, it's just like that, and really the lack of transparency when it comes to injuries, because obviously, as a coach, as a technical staff, like sometimes it's just like advantageous to like not let other teams your current situation, but at the same time, the injuries have been so lengthy that for us, we have been lost in the context of the situation. Like how bad is the injury? How bad is the recovery time frame? When was the last time that he was in full practice? Because all these questions, I'll see that Ben Olsen every time he gets asked, like 99% of the time, he's gonna be like, no update. And for me, that's like, okay, they're way back. There's no way they're gonna be playing anytime soon. But Quinones, man, and now he's back, which is great. But Quinones, like, it's been over a year now, like a year and a half since that injury, and it's just like, okay, like obviously this is a business, and at some point, like if it doesn't work out, we have to move on. But we are putting so much stock on Quinones being healthy again. It's extremely concerning because
Well, no,
now it's like,
nobody's putting stock on it, by the way. Nobody's putting stock on it. So we're just hoping he returns and hoping his potential can, get back to the field. And we kind of understand that he may not, but there's no stock on it. We just, man, would like him to return and be what he was, so we don't have to go out and look for another one. We need a striker. We need to get those.
we need a lot of things.
Yeah,
Center
absolutely.
back, midfielder, like a game changer, whatever.
Older
Like
defense, put Escobar in the middle. You gain a lot of experience right there.
we're good with goalkeepers, but we need a little bit of everything right now.
Yeah, and
I don't know what to.
as Mark says right there, go ahead.
Yeah, Mark, he kind of mentioned it correctly. Like, I don't think Quinones returning turns this around. Eric is important. Eric
No,
Shevchenko is important because he's a vocal leader that holds his peers accountable, which is kind of like what I said. He's gonna vent his frustrations and be as transparent as possible. And Artur is a silent leader and rightfully so. We need a voice in this team.
Need a voice. Hashtag a topic later on during the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I don't know what to expect against Minnesota. Well, happy birthday, Dylan Walkers. I don't know how it's
happy
gonna
birthday,
go.
Dylan Walkers. Expect a loss. Happy birthday, Dylan Whoppers. Expect a loss. Happy birthday, Dylan Whoppers. I don't know. You don't know what to expect anymore. That's why you watch the games. That's why they played the damn games. But this is just getting embarrassing. The lack of performance that we're getting weekly, from time to time, and the poor excuses that Ben gives you as well.
It's just gonna be a matter of proving themselves and see what happens differently against Minnesota. They got the week off. I don't know how they're gonna deal with that. We'll see it on the field in Minnesota next week.
I know how Linger's dealing with it. He's hanging out with Speed.
Yeah, I show Speed. On the field, I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. All good fun. All good fun.
Oh, yes. Of course. And I guess with that, we can definitely just move on to the next topic, which, like I've said already a couple of times, we do have the transfer window coming up.
Well, hold on. Let's go back. Let's talk about the team itself. So, Femi Awodesu, I said, was talking about watching YouTube during the game and not playing soccer and all that good stuff. So, is Femi bad? But I want to
here we got
pause for a few seconds, and then I want to give y'all a live update from Shell Energy Stadium tonight in the Gold Cup, Haiti versus Trinidad and Tobago. We've got a very thank y'all, Herman, Benitez, and Juan Pereira. Thank you. Hey, got a live update. Tell us what's going on in the Gold Cup at Shell Energy Stadium tonight.
We can't hear you.
Oh no, we're on mute.
Oh no, we can't hear you.
They're on mute. So
no way.
The live doesn't work so well. But hey, they're there, as you can see in the background.
Yeah.
They're at Shell Energy Stadium. So hey, let them. Hey, y'all turn that mic on, man. Turn your mic on. What's going on?
It's on. Yeah, it looks like it might be an audio issue. Damn.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Live from Shell Energy Stadium. Herman Benitez and Juan Pereira. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What happened today?
Hey guys, so right here, right behind me, Shell Energy Stadium, we just saw Haiti versus Trinidad and Tobago go at it. 1-1 was the final score. Very fun match, honestly, if I would say. Herman, if you want to give him a little thoughts about the game.
I do. I want to say that Mark is cuter than both of us. This was more of a entertaining match. Not well attended. I couldn't hear what the final score was.
It was 1-1.
The final attendance.
It was like 2,000.
2,000, right? 2,000 people. All 2,000 of them. We had a great time. It's a 1-1 final score. A red card in the first half. I thought Haiti was by far the better team, but a back and forth entertaining match here at Shell Energy.
No, yeah, guys, I honestly really enjoyed it too. My favorite part was near the end when both teams decided to give up on defending and just started playing pure CONCACAF style football. Just didn't get back and forth, seeing who would score. The fans going crazy. Honestly, those 2,000 were louder than some crowds I've seen that are like triple that size. So honestly, a really fun atmosphere out there tonight.
Imagine being born in Europe and being able to miss the beauty and magic of CONCACAF.
Yeah.
I mentioned the red card. We had a penalty in favor of Haiti. They had 2 taken away previously from VAR. They got the third one and they skied it. They could have gone up 2-1 in the late 80th minute, but they skied it and the game ended 1-1. Embrace the CONCACAF, guys. Embrace that we're in CONCACAF. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful game.
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful game.
And yeah, honestly, my second favorite part, honestly, was just seeing the fans walking around the stadium. I know we kind of mentioned them, but all of them had their flags. They were singing songs. It was honestly a very, very good atmosphere. And imagine if it was like 2,000 people there. It would have been loud, reckless. It was honestly a lot of fun. So
And the last thing, thank goodness we start home games for the Dynamo at 7:30. Oh, I
Yes.
in McKinney, and I was sweating by the time I made it to the entrance to the stadium. So live from Shell Energy Stadium for Foxtrot TV, Germán Benitez and
Juan Pereira.
Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your heat, even though it's already been sundown. So we do appreciate the live update from the Gold Cup, the best cup,
Go
the
Dynamo!
best of cups.
Dynamo.
Go Dynamo, go CONCACAF.
There you go. That's what's up. That's Germán Benitez from Deporta Total USA and Juan Padilla from Foxtrot Media, live from Shell Energy Stadium. There's your update. If you weren't there, you weren't doing nothing because the Astros are not in town right now. That was a good game. That was a fun game. Like they said, penalty kicks. VAR was involved. There was a red card involved. Man, all kinds of goodness, all kinds of craziness, man. We were hoping to have them on at like 8:05. They made it to 8:33. So you see what kind of craziness is going on. It's just a lot going on. So our promise
Yeah.
came through. They held through. Shout out to them. That was friggin' fun. And Mark, blowing kisses over there to him. And, easy, bro. You're getting distracted. Is it Kiki or is it them boys? Which one do you want, man? Nah. Hey, but good stuff, good stuff. We're 18 minutes into the USA-Saudi Arabia game as we're watching on TV. 0-0, nothing going on over there with a lot of empty seats.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous that they try to charge $90 for those seats, and it's like empty.
Yeah,
Like
I would have
when
been
they end
there,
the
bro. I
camera
would have
to
been
the
there.
upper bowl, I would have been there too, but I'm not paying $90 for a group stage game. So
Well, technically,
it's like,
we should have been there, period, because we should have been working it. That's what
yes,
should have been happening. God
even
damn.
then as fans,
Yeah.
CONCACAF,
really.
man, you
Yeah.
love it and you hate it.
Look, good save, Pete. All right, good job.
No, man. But yeah, where were we? We're talking about Femi and
Oh, yeah.
and the
Femi.
YouTube.
So I asked you the question. Is Femi bad? Is the main question. Is Femi bad? I'm sorry to put it that way, bro. Femi, if you're listening, I'm sorry to put it that way. You're just making a lot of mistakes and too many mistakes. So I preference it that way. Is Femi bad? Just going off a lot of what fans are saying. We have a fan Dynamo Discord, not an official Dynamo Discord, a fan Dynamo Discord. So you grow off a lot of opinion of the fan base, and so that's what we report a lot of times. What the fan base feels is Femi bad. So sorry for the question. It is appropriate though. So Fox, I ask you: is Femi bad?
No, and I'm very optimistic. So take it as you will. But for me, I've seen Femi Awodesu with those, and he is a good player. I look at him right now. Obviously, he's having a pretty bad start to his professional career, especially with the first team. And I see the Femi that I saw with those, and I still see that potential. For me, I do remind myself every time about Mikael and his unique situation as well. Granted, Mikael took a little bit less time to turn things around and just be like a cornerstone of the Dynamo defense before he left. And I see Femi. Obviously, there's been a lot of rookie mistakes, particularly the last game against Montreal and a bunch of the games. After the start of the year, I felt like at the start he had a pretty good showing, but he's been inconsistent, and that's one of the things he has to work on. And
it's not his
we like to
talent,
joke about
it's his choices.
Yes, and we like to joke about the YouTube channel. Obviously, he's very passionate about the sport, like all of us. But like you said, it's more so about the talent, and it's more so about building up that consistency and learning from your mistakes. Because I feel like from this point of the season, which is the most crucial point of the year to see whatever we can salvage, he has to step up, and he has to embrace those mistakes, build from those mistakes, learn, and put his art up, man. Because he needs that. He needs to find that moment and I know he's better than this.
Yeah, and clarification, I'm not talking down about his YouTube channel or the content that he's putting out there.
Yeah,
It's like that. It's just a joke. It's just a preference to it. It's like, what are you focused on out there? So he is making mental mistakes. He's not making physical mistakes. He should put his body in positions where he doesn't give up a running header to where you're not waiting for the ball. You got to take the space available. Even Mark, who's listening right now, he's a rookie, and a lot has been thrown on him. But granted, the coaching staff believes in him, and he needs to take advantage of that opportunity. And he does. And like I said earlier, he's in between D2 and he's in between MLS right now as far as his talent overall rated would be. He has a lot of potential. He has a lot of talent. He's not physical yet at all. He has a lot of height, but he doesn't have a lot of build to him. So he needs to learn. Even though you're tall and skinny, you can still use that to your advantage, even over a bigger body, and put yourself in positions to where you will still win the ball or at least affect enough of the situation to where that person just doesn't run in and just score an easy header on you because you didn't occupy the space properly or anticipate the occupied space or weren't ready for a bulldozer coming in with a big ass body and heading the ball in. So gotta use your IQ a little bit better. He has a lot of talent. So, is he bad? No. Is he on the verge of that direction right now? It looks like that way just because the mistakes are accounting. But yeah, you can put it on Ben and we're putting ourselves in situations, but they're not bad situations. It's more like, all right, we're cool. Oh, what the hell did he do? Kind of situation. So it's those kind of mistakes.
Yeah.
Femi, work on it. You'll get it. This is good building aspects for it. Yes, granted. But oh man, right now when the Dynamo are struggling, man, you're part of it. So unfortunately, we got to talk about you, Femi, and we got to find the right pairing at center backs right now. Is Escobar and Femi the right center back? Is it Bartlow and Femi? Is it Ortiz and Femi? Is it Ortiz and Escobar? Who's the right center back pairing right now? It's going to be kind of the big question. I couldn't even tell you what the fan base would want right now. That vote would probably be, if you put 4 center back pairings in there, be 25, 25, 25, 25. So maybe we need to do that. Start that vote tomorrow or tonight, later after the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's more so about Femi's improvement from here, what he can do, and how he can build consistency. Because more than anything, he needs the best moments. He needs to show us that more than anything. So, and I believe he can. Like I saw with those, and I think he can do it with the first team. But yeah, a lot of learning from him, and we'll see how the lineup looks up against Minnesota. I feel like we're gonna see something else way different. But then again, we barely know Ben Olsen.
And what was the other question I asked in the script earlier, because I can't see the script right now and I forgot it, but I was like, Femi's bad, and what was the other one? Help me out.
Oh, we're gonna talk a little bit more about Eric Shevchenko returning, which was the other thing that was added to the script. And but yeah, like it's more so how whenever his availability is gonna be, because last week I do recall quite clearly that Ben Olsen alluded to that he was like ready or almost ready, and we didn't see him. He didn't appear against Montreal in the lineup or in the bench. He could be available against Minnesota. We don't know for sure, but whenever Ben Olsen kind of says or gives us more details about a player's availability, for me, I always think that they're pretty close to ready, but we'll have to see that.
Yeah. Get well soon. Hurry up and be back, bro. We need you. If you're back, you're back. If not, oh man, tell us so we can relax. Because we need you, bro. We need you. You and somebody else. So that'd be the next question. Eric and somebody else. Who would you pair with Eric right now, man? I don't know. Escobar is probably who I would pair. Andrade on the left and Dorsey on the right. That's my 4, as long as Eric's not friggin' done and got the same Hemi that Hector Herrera left behind.
Yeah, I'd probably just put Escobar with Barlow right now. And it's more so And for me, the reason why I prefer Escobar more than Barlow is just because Escobar should be our second captain. Yeah, or our captain. For
Yeah,
a
pretty
fact,
much.
because
Give him the captain band. Yeah.
we like to complain that he gets pissed off so easily, but you look at him on the field, like he's a player that's always yelling at his teammates, at the referee, at everything that they do wrong, because they know that they can do better, and he's been there when the team has been amazing and they've been
And
playing
he's
very
doing
well.
better. How many red cards he had this year? None.
Man,
Yeah,
like it's
none.
that's
None.
an improvement.
Make him a captain, man. Just make him a captain. You make tactical changes, make him a captain, and let's go play some soccer.
Literally, I mean, not much else. Like that's why I prefer Escobar. Like he's just one of those voices, like Mark mentioned, and like
Yeah, because he
and what
cares.
we have seen this season. Like he's yelling 24/7, and that's what this team needs right now. He needs someone to speak up and tell the players, "You are messing up. Figure it out. Stop." Stop.
He yells at the
messing with
referee
team.
so much they're expecting him to yell at him then, so he gets extra warnings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I give Escobar a lot of crap for just like his behavior on the field, but we go to this year, how important more than anything we need leadership on the field, and I appreciate that more. I appreciate that more. I definitely talk crap about him a lot, and like he's proving me wrong. Like he's one of the leaders right now, and probably the type of leader that this team needs.
Hey, make it happen, or we'll start the front. Escobar for captain. Sorry, Arthur. Sorry,
Escobar
Arthur.
for-
I can't hear you, bro. I can't hear you telling me not to do it.
No, but yeah, we can probably just move to the next topic, and it's more so our probably our final hopes to salvage the season, and that's gonna be the next transfer window, and the amount of resources that we've supposedly been getting to apparently get a third DP or get another under 22 player that's able to turn things around. Still remains to be seen, but apparently we are on the radar for 2 players already, and I feel like it's been in the works for a while, but we may not find out more up until whenever the transfer window comes in, which is at the start of July. But should you got more info on that?
No, bro, no. And I hope hope both of them are like false rumors or just someone just, doing their like agent work and like adding somebody to the mix just because that's the type of team that would bring this type of player in. The center mid, please no, friggin' no, hell no. The guy don't even play, so what are we even looking at the guy for? So, no, I just flushed the commode. No. All right. Now, the center back, I am intrigued at because of his talent, where he's played, where he's been playing. But yeah, so I mean, I would be like, yeah, but we're going through like 6 center backs over this past 4 months, so it's kind of like here we go with another center back. But at least I don't know what to think about this one. Is it a trick? But it seems like he would be, he's 25, I think, and played at the championship level of Premier, so or England, I mean. So it'd be better than a risk Ortiz, risk Andrade, a risk, somebody else. So is he somebody that could come in and sure start? Is Eric done as well? If Eric's done, then hell yeah, I would love a center back. But not a DP center back either. So, but I don't know. What triggers this offense to start scoring? Is it a DP center back or is it another DP cam? I don't know. No more. A new coach. Sorry.
Look, I'm still iffy about the source of those rumors, and for me, more than anything, the one that made more sense to me is a center back, only because assuming the situation with Eric Svechenko is worse than what it looks like, for me it makes sense to add a center back at this point because we are bleeding goals. We need a center back with experience, as it's like able to take up our heat, not just literally but also figuratively. We are getting so much pressure, and we are breaking down and just flat out failing to like flat out failing against the counters. Period. Like we're not fast enough, and our mentality more than anything, we need vision of the game, and we need that type of player that Svechenko is. But then again, it kind of depends on how far back is Svechenko in terms of match fitness and if he's able to even play this year. And yeah, the center defensive midman, I don't get it either. Like I did see that he is a free agent, as far as I know, and I feel like okay, I kind of know that we could use more bodies, and of course we could talk
Not
about
that
Lolero
guy, no.
just after
Not a
this,
center
but
mid, no.
right, but well, yeah, well, I don't know about, like I said, I don't know about the sources from those rumors, but for me, it's more so like out of the center defensive mid or center back, I'm gonna take a center back right now, but it's really dependent on what happens with Vichenko.
Yeah, and that's okay. What we do here is we just talk about stuff. We can talk about rumors. It doesn't make the rumor real, or it doesn't give the rumor any more validity. It just something to talk about and gives us a reason to talk about that position as well, or those positions as well. But center mid, no, unless that person's making a mark, no. Center back, yeah, I would love a center back, just the one that I could pen in instead of pencil in. Who's our center back? So we'll see as we move on, and Mark is common as well at this point because of the results and the place where the Dynamo are. If it ain't a third DP that changes the game, then we just need to leave let alone and just roll the dice with what we got. But rolling the dice with what we got means Ben has to make some changes to himself and to his tactics and to the way he plays the game, utilizing the subs as well properly at the same time, using the players properly. I know Pat may be pressuring you, but come on, bro, you've done this before. Like, come on, these are the players you asked for. So quit being so strict at practice for how they perform and put them on the pitch and see how they perform on the pitch in 11v11 real action and judge them a lot on that as well. You're judging a lot of these players on that practice, man. And Allen Iverson didn't practice. I'm not saying we got an Allen Iverson on the practice pitch, but come on, bro. Like, Jesus. Play the players, bro, while you got a chance before you're gone, before I throw the axe at you.
Pretty much. And yeah, it's more so about the players and whoever else we bring in. But one of the rumors that's also been kind of materializing apparently, and also the one that I was expecting the most by the start of the season, revolves around Nicolás Lodero, because he's going back to a Nacional in Uruguay. And I'm only saying that I expected that more than anything because as it was part of the contract that I think it was Tom Bogert or somebody else that reported on it before the season started, was that the Dynamo had to release him if Nacional from Uruguay wanted to sign him back, only because that's his boyhood club where he started his professional career. Yeah, or accepted buyout. And I'm not sure which one's which, but pretty much it revolves around letting him go for the club. And yeah, Lolero, obviously, he has been playing a lot of out of position this season, and I feel like it was somewhat of a disservice to take advantage of his abilities. And granted, he's older than what he was when he started playing in MLS, but yeah, we're currently in a bad situation, and if Lodero's not playing in Houston as much as we want to, and he wants to go back to his boyhood club before he retires, go for it, man. I'm not gonna blame you.
Yeah, because we don't need you. We need somebody better. That's
Pretty much.
all it is, straight up. So
Yeah.
thank you for your 6-month loan that didn't last 6 months, and goodbye to you. Thank you for bringing us Matt Halliday as well, or whatever his name is. Matt Halliday is the Colorado Rocky, I think. But Halliday, the defender that doesn't get zero playing time with Dose. I mean, he got a little bit, but nothing. Wow. Did a lot for us. Thank you. Bye. Opens up a roster spot.
Yeah. We'll see what they do with the roster spot. I feel like short term they might just bring in someone from those, but we'll see. Like it's just a matter of trying to determine what's best for the team, especially in Pat's eyes. And that could probably just be our next topic before we move on to the next one.
Well, yeah. I guess, time's moving along, so I guess we should start hitting those other topics before we run out of too much time and lose the listeners. So let's get into those good debatable ones, man.
Pat Onstad, man. A lot of people, and obviously I'm still in the camp of giving Pat Onstad a chance, especially with like the season turnout.
Same here.
But this is probably the most concerning period he has had with the team right after making our first playoff appearance. Because obviously we had a lot of concern, especially at the start of the year, about losing Mikhail so early without a backup plan or actually someone that's just able to cover for him. And obviously losing out on Hector Herrera and Coco Carrasquilla, pretty much our drivers of our offense for the past few years. And our offense looks different. Of course, production is still there, but we're still having issues putting the ball in the back of the net. And still looking always for the perfect shot, because we are always going to run the ball inside the box until we get the best chance. We are not going to shoot outside the box unless your name is Jack McLean. And we are going to struggle against the bus whenever it's parked. And that, on top of the defense that has been struggling against the counter, and our goalkeeper core, look, it's cool, but if the back line gives up on the goalkeeper, we're going to concede goals, and we're going to lose games. And we're now below the playoff line with halfway the season left to go. So
ridiculous. So you talk about Pat. I put the majority of the blame on Ben over Pat. Pat is doing the work looking for players, finds a list of players through the scouting network that we have provided with us, and then goes to Ben and like, hey, this is what we're looking at, blah, blah, blah. Off of Ben's request, right? This is the type of player I want. So they go out and look for this player. Come up with a list, and then go to Ben like, hey, all right, which one do you like? Which one do you want us to look into? And he tells them, man, and they go out and they look at this player, and they're like, all right, cool, he looks good, and, they bring his player on. So I think the majority of it goes to Ben over Pat. Pat does sign these players, and he needs to make more decisive decisions and quit relying on Ben like, hey, let me choose my players. I'm the coach. I can only coach my players, blah, blah, blah. But, I think Ben as well looks like a one-trick pony with his tactics. He only plays one formation, only plays one style. He doesn't change. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't do anything to me is what's funny. And Kenny Bunny gets up and he's yelling at players, but it's definitely only on like set pieces where that's his majority. And the goalkeeper coach, you see him up talking to the goalkeeper, but it's like it's hard to talk over Ben and to tell these players like, hey, it's okay to play a little bit different, man. It's okay to play a little bit different, but Ben's got a hold on everything. Is what I think it is, and I think so. We got a micromanager for a coach, man. So he's got to let loose a little bit, or I'm gonna let loose on his ass, and you're fired. That's what's gonna happen. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
I mean, we're all frustrated, and there's a lot of blame to go around. But yeah, it's more so who gets to blame more, and for me, it's shared, and it's more so on Ben rather than Pat. And I've been giving a lot of credit to Pat. I've been defending him a lot, but we gotta
Well,
say
Mark makes a
like it
good point
is,
too.
like we always do. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark makes a good point right there with that one comment. With Pat does look bad for not being prepared for Mikel. Like I said earlier, Mikel, we knew people were hunting for him, and yeah, it was close to the season, but the window's still open, the opportunity's still there, the chance is still there. So you should have had a backup plan or just something in the works. Granted, maybe a player that you did have in the backup got signed and was somewhere else, but Coco, 3 years in the works. So, you could say, hey, we brought Seba and Bassi in to replace Coco at one point, and, where are those guys? So, there is a lot to go on. There is some blame that goes to Pat, but that's why I preference it majority. Majority of my blame goes to Ben right now, just to preface it. But, yeah, good mention, Mark. Thank you.
Yep. And I was gonna say pretty much that. Like it's some of that blame goes to Pat just for the lack of preparation
Right.
ahead of a tough season that they still had a lot to prove. We lost Achache, we lost Coco, we lost Mikhail very like days before the season started, without really a backup plan or just relying on the players that you have right now. Which, look, it's fine, but if you look at the contributions that all those players had with this team, it's tough to replicate. And I feel like right now we're just paying the price. And I guess we'll see what happens in the next transfer window if we're able to bring in someone that's just up to the task and able to overperform our expectations. But then again, I'm just extremely optimistic with the transfer window because I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping DP. We're expecting DP. Where that DP going to come? Some people are already asking for a DP striker. That was an easy header from straight to the goalkeeper. But some were asking for a DP striker. Some were asking for a DP cam. Some say Linger should play that cam, and Ollie on the left. McGlynn when he comes back on the ram. But he's going to go to Europe pretty quick, so we need to find somebody there. Bring in the DP to play there. Bring in the D. Do you replace Ponce already? That's do we go back to the Sebas effect? you got Arthur. You have Reigns playing next to Arthur. Do you bring in a more efficient center midfielder to play next to Arthur as a starter? As a starter, not as a potential player like this CM that was rumored to us that is just crap. And bro, you're in the kitchen cooking right now. You're not even playing soccer, so erase that rumor. That's like Juan when he was 15 starting rumor. Now he's 18, so that's why we pressed it 3 years ago. But man, I don't know, Mark. Is it a possibility that McGlynn is gone by the end of this Gold Cup? That is a very good question because we expected to keep McGlynn for a year, possibly a second year, and then he'd be gone. There was a lot of hype. He wanted to go to Europe. He found out he was traded within the MLS. That doesn't stop him from going to Europe technically, but so yeah, it's very possible. Their windows are going to open up in the European leagues. So yeah, it's very possible after this Gold Cup, somebody pays the money that we are required and wanting, plus that 50%. Remember back to Philly, even though Philly only keeps 20 of it, 50%. So what is the price that we're willing to allow people to pay? Is it 10, 12? I've heard Dynamo are just asking for 6 or a little over 5. Which means we only keep 2.5, so we make our 2 back and get 500 grand on top of it or something like that. So you're right. McGlynn is very possibly gone. So we'll see. Can he score tonight against Saudi Arabia again and just raise that price even more? Teams are looking at him, though. Is McGlynn gone, Andres? Or is he going to stick around a little longer?
Stick around a little longer. I feel like it's gonna wait for the offers or like the best one to come in. And I did say in the last time we talked about McGlynn and potentially departing soon that his price range would definitely be the $10 million range, just based on demand and whatever teams is able to pay out for him. And there's plenty of clubs that can definitely pay around that, and it's just a
Easily.
matter of demand more than anything. So it's that I feel like it's gonna be sticking around for like another year.
Hopefully. We'll bring it on. We'll take it. We'll take the money if that's part of the business. So we're expected for it. Pat should be ready for it this time. As Mark mentioned earlier, he was not ready earlier. So be ready for it. Let's find, and then that opens up a U22 as well once McGlynn is sold. So it's a positive sell. You get the money, you get the position open. Now you have to go find the right player to replace him. So back to the front office. Can they make the right move? So selling him will be right. Is it the right price? What up, Kyle? Kyle's blog joining into the chat. What up? But yeah, dude, man, hopefully it's the right price. McGlynn's going to Europe no matter what. We're gonna have to sell him at some point. So hopefully there's a bidding war and that raises that price a little bit. And we and then Pat, like Mark said, Pat's ready and gets the right replacement in here soon afterwards. Very soon afterwards. Not somebody to potentially replace him if he leaves, like we did Coco. Somebody to replace him, whether it be the day after or what. That's got to be ready.
Yeah, it's definitely a point of conversation, and we'll definitely keep talking about it probably every episode or whenever the transfer window is still open. It's still going to be all about the price range and whatever return the Dynamo can make out for him. And yeah, just getting close to the episode, I feel like we can just go ahead and get the updates for the Gold Cup. And as you can see from the background, the U.S. is about to go to halftime, scoreless against Saudi Arabia. And I've been talking about Dynamo so much that I kind of lost track of the game. But I did see the U.S. Go inside Saudi Arabia's box a lot, and they had a couple chances to score, especially that header that you mentioned. I saw it and I was like, straight to the keeper.
Boring. It's been a boring game so far, so forget the Gold Cup. The Club World Cup has actually been fun to watch. Some of those games have been fun.
Yes.
Somehow Inter Miami beat Porto, like we mentioned earlier. But some of those have been fun and enjoyable to watch, so y'all check them out. You know, I'm a City fan, so I'm watching City. Could have done better. I'm checking out the new players that the City signed. So there's a lot of new players playing for these teams too in the Club World Cup. So looking forward to it. Looking to more games, checking it out. Kyle's blog asked, what's good, boys? Just getting ready for that tailgate against St. Louis coming up in a week and a half, or technically 2 weeks or whatever it is, against St. Louis. We'll be back in the parking lot. We'll be ready for that tailgate, the Surge tailgate. And we'll have our our BYOB. We'll have some food. It sounds like we're going to have a chef on scene this time. We'll have the music blaring. So hopefully we'll see you there and see y'all there. And, come check us out. Follow us on the social medias to know where the tailgate actually is, but it'll be right there. It'll be the Surge lot or the Dynamo headquarters. It's right there. If you're at Texas Tailgate, you can see us. You'll be able to hear us, so you can't get lost right there. That's it. Come by, see us, say what's up. Get in the video if there's a Foxtrot game day going on as well. But man, there's a lot going on, man. Like Andres said, you got Gold Cup, Club World Cup, Dynamo. Got Dash are still playing right now. Dose is on a break as well. Tailgate coming up pretty soon in a week and a half to get ready for. So y'all be ready, man. Y'all be ready. Get your tickets. I want to see y'all out there.
All the things going on at the same time, and honestly, the Club World Cup is very entertaining. A lot of people have been talking down about it, and I've always been in favor of having like a club competition to see who's the best one. And I like this formula. I like it a lot. I like the games that I've seen so far for the most part. And man, I really like this format, and I hope it sticks for the next 4 years, and get better teams down the road. And the tailgate, man, more than anything, that's where it's tailgate, and getting camera for Foxtrot Game Day. If we have it up there, man, it's worth it. And like always, you just mentioned, there's just a lot going on, not just on the field, like when it comes to soccer, but also emotionally, man. The team is going through a phase right now, and a lot of fans are pissed. And we always want to hear you guys what you guys think. Like we're always looking to see your comments, your reactions to the team, whenever they win, lose, draw, and like always, whenever we started this, like we've been down bad, really bad, and we're still gonna be here, man. We're still gonna say how it is, and we'll keep supporting the boys no matter what. But well, yeah, guys. As always, we do appreciate support. And once again, thank you so much for Herman and Juan for tuning in live from the Gold Cup back at Shell Energy Stadium just a few minutes ago. And everyone that's in the chat right now. Mark, our host as always, been listening and watching and supporting us. And Kyle's blog, thank you so much for tuning in. And
Hey, yeah,
yeah, just everyone
Kyle,
that's
you
been
should
able
know
to
better.
tune in.
You're doing
Yeah.
the blog, bro. If you what you say on camera is on camera. The internet's going to know about it. The world's going to know about it. So you talked Bossy up. You knew you were on camera too, bro. So hey,
Yeah.
shit takes go of the best. We love them.
Yeah, I mean it's part of the job. It's part of the gig. Like there's always gonna be opinions, and man, that's what makes us human, man. That's what makes us fans of the game that we love, and we're gonna keep doing it. Like Kyle and everyone else loves the game. So
Hey,
yeah,
Andres,
guys.
as you
Yeah,
give us our socials, you know, hey Kiki, I know you're listening. I hope you're still listening. If you were listening, I hope you're still listening. But Mark wants to give you the hi Kiki, right there. There you go, Mark. There you go, Mark. A little bit of heartbeat too, man. A little bit of heartbeat. So, hey, good to see you on the chat. Good to talk to y'all, man. Andres, good to talk to you during the show, but bro, always throw my H's up, man.
of course,
In the
always.
empty stadium
And
over here.
yep. Like I said previously, halfway point of the season, we're still gonna be here no matter what. We are gonna get your coverage on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, at Dynamic Foxtrot. We also have a second handle on X called Noodle Tiempo. We'll keep you guys updated no matter what, like I said. And whatever you're watching or listening, pretty much all the platforms that you listen to your podcast, look it up. It's going to be Noodle Time. Make sure you are subscribed, following, give us a review on your podcast platform. It helps us a lot with the algorithm as well. And YouTube, probably our best place to watch our content. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure to give us a comment. Make sure to tune into our live streams like this one. And man, like it gives us a lot of emotion or happiness seeing you guys tune in every single time. We do appreciate you, and every time you give us a like or comment, a subscription, it means a lot to us. And Ghost TV, man, I'm gonna keep saying it. Ghost TV is a good platform. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. A good platform to see or discover other soccer country creators like we are. And for other teams, other leagues around the world, we do have our profile there. It's gonna be goals.tv spelled with a Z. The goals.tv/at Dynamic Foxtrot. That's gonna be a profile. And just take a look around. There's a lot of content creators that we've shared content over time, and favorite teams. It's very cool to see. But yeah, man, like it's been a tough week or so. a lot of emotion flowing in my veins right now, and we'll get back at it next week.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready for it. Got to get Dose back, but we still got Dose. Still got Dash. Still got Dash playing this weekend. So y'all check me out on the Dash Dispatch. Andres will probably be there as well in the next episode. Well, we're at the midway point in the Dash season, so check us out. Dash Dispatch, also on Fox.tv.
Dash Dispatch, a Foxtrot Game Day, Instant Ramen. We got it for you guys, and we love doing it. So yeah, guys, we do appreciate the support. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode, and as always, stay loyal.
Thanks,